Go to w.gg with the code Monofinite or use the link in the description for 10% off any order. So when I first tried Deadlock, I was extremely skeptical about it. Me and my friends thought it was a hero shooter, so like that really threw us all off. But when you look at the game through the lens of this is a MOBA, it just becomes peak. This is peak. I mean, I don't know why we expected any less from our glorious overlords over at Valve. The very movement-oriented system was something to get used to as a MOBA player, but it helps with the very fast-paced nature of this game. It genuinely feels like there's never nothing happening just because of how much you're moving around and how frequently you are doing so. I don't know anything about the lore, but the characters design-wise at least look really cool, and there's a lot of diversity in just, you know, what we're dealing with. It's not copy and paste muscular man and conventionally attractive woman. But once again, surprise, surprise, Valve knows how to make peak. The build system does feel a little bit confusing as a new player. The only MOBA I play is League, so of course I'm using the recommended items. And within the recommended tab, the items tell you early game, mid game, late game, but without knowing how long the games were gonna be, I didn't know whether I would need to start selling items, what items I would start needing to sell. I really feel like this game could benefit from an item branch system, just a little visual indicator of what items build into what, because there were plenty of times where I would build one item into another and just genuinely not even notice. And yes, that's on me, I need to read, I get it, but that's the sort of thing that should come later into playing the game and not be the initial thing that's the expectation, because reading is going to drive away players inevitably. Ah! Literacy! Get it away! Get it away! Now, it's not to say I want the game to be baby mode and I want it to be like, oh yeah, you don't need to read all the freaking items and everything. I just want it to be slightly more readily digestible because there's already a lot of reading you need to do in this game just to understand the characters alone. So adding things that would make it more accessible for those who want to get more into the combat rather than the build crafting part of this game would just be some really good quality of life changes that I'd like to see. I mentioned the length of each match before, and for the most part, these matches can feel generally really good in length, but I've had one too many 1 hour long matches. And it's not like my unemployed ass has anything better to do, but the length of the matches in correlation to late game scaling can be astronomically bullshit. All it takes is one person to be fed on the enemy team and you'll find yourself in a situation where you're just constantly going back and forth, team fighting in each other's bases, because while the majority of your team was competent and won their lanes or at least did moderately okay, that one motherfucker fed, now there's a 25-0 pocket, and now he's hitting your entire team with that dumbass afflicted debuff that does 10 times more damage than Epstein did to children in his lifetime. And congrats, now you're in for the worst base race of the century. Late game, it really feels like you're either going to steamroll the enemy team, or the enemy team is gonna pick you up by the legs and fuck you while they gently pat the back of your head and tell you how good of a job you're doing, as they proceed to six-man your base like they're all black men and the base itself is Piper Perry. And this all happened because you just so happened to queue into the one Calico player who doesn't understand the fucking game. Oh yeah, and if you plan on getting into this game, just be aware there are a lot of levers. I mean a lot of levers. My team literally has one in the gameplay footage you're watching right now. Players in this game have worse commitment issues than a college student who accidentally just impregnated his girlfriend. In terms of character design when it comes to gameplay, this game is phenomenal. There's a lot of diversity just for gameplay style in general, and I love how every character fills their own particular role, but not a singular role is required. It makes it feel like every character is providing value in their own way. If I want to die for my team and function as a distraction, I'll go in Furnace and run around like a coke fiend who just saw you at a shiny watch. Or if I feel like you already don't have enough blunt force trauma, I'll go Billy and beat some more into you. Or if I'm feeling like your local candy seller with a white van, I'll go Drifter and kindly remind you what your friend Jamal looks like when the lights are turned off. Case in point, I find trying out and playing each character to be very fun, with the exception of a certain individual who was recently added. I understand that it's not a hero shooter, it is a MOBA, but it is still a shooting game, and a character like Graves just feels like more of a detriment to me than anything else. I don't understand the shooting game obsession with adding a character that doesn't have to aim. Characters like these aren't a necessary evil, they just present players with the skill of a chimpanzee who just shoved a fentanyl banana up his nose after his 15th lobotomy the opportunity to think they're even halfway decent. A character like Billy is perfectly fine because building him utilizes a core mechanic of the game that anyone can do, but Graves just looks at the simple concept of needing to aim to deal damage like high-ranking government officials look at laws, and takes full advantage of the fact that it doesn't apply to her. I do like that literally any character can just become a raid boss. There have been plenty of matches where I've gotten lit up like a sketcher by a character that I thought wouldn't do much damage. It really feels like the devs care about the player base of every individual character instead of picking favorites like a certain dev team I know. Another fucking Psylocke skin! What I really don't understand about this game is the fact that any player is able to pause it at any time. Why is there a pause button in my online game? Now I can't tell the ugly chick I'm curving that I'm busy. I really don't have any particular issues with it, especially because anyone can unpause it after 30 seconds, but it seems like a system that's just going to be generally useless outside of a hypothetical tournament situation. Onto the players, outside of the levers, I haven't really had any negative or positive experiences. I saw Flats talk about how people were spamming slurs in this game, and I don't know if it's just died down or if people just genuinely can't smell the black off me, but for the most part, my teammates and opponents have been pretty chill. People in this game tend to actually wait until the game is ending to start raging, which is insane to me. Learn from this, Marvel Rivals players. Stop being a bitch in my ranked games. I don't want to hear you talking. But overall, yeah, Deadlock seems like a really fun game. Hope you all like this little review. Be sure to leave your opinions in the comments. I know you will. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. Peace.